Hello, Rob Orr, clinical myotherapist and credentialed McKenzie therapist. Welcome to my consultation room. Today I want to talk about video, online, face-to-face consultations. Using the McKenzie Method, known as mechanical diagnosis and therapy, is a very valid method for online face-to-face consultation. The McKenzie Method is a classification system that uses repeated movements in different directions to see what happens to your pain, i.e. does your pain change locations, does it disappear, does it get worse? So for example, if you had back pain, associated leg pain, do these repeated movements take the pain away from your leg and place it back into your back? And that's called centralisation. Lots of good scientific research support that, and that leads to very good outcomes. So the mechanical diagnosis and therapy is heavily evidence-based research, and it's a standardised system recognised around the world. So let me just give an example. If you did come to me for back pain with associated butt or leg pain, pain below the knee or not below the knee, sciatica, etc. So with the McKenzie Method, once again, we'll go through a very thorough history, medical history, and a very thorough history of your presenting condition. We'll then map out your pain and associated pains on a body chart that I'll be using. I'll then ask you a series of questions: what makes you better and what makes you worse. I'll try and establish a pattern from those questions. If there's a pattern that is your particular position the spine likes or doesn't like, and as well with the soft tissue. From there, I will change your postural position when seated. I will show you how to do that. That will give me a lot of information as well. If your pain disappears or reduces, then that shows me that this is very relevant to your ongoing management, and also tells me some very important clues on what your spine is doing and what your spine likes. So what we can do, I'll show you how to get a towel, like so. You roll it up into a cylinder, with a rubber band on each end. One size does not fit all, so we have to tweak it. And then what we do, we'll place this in your lower back while I'm chatting to you to see what your pain does. So for example, you're sitting down, you'll grab the bolster, you'll place it in your lower back area around about where the belt line is, or slightly lower, and you'll sit up nice and straight with good posture. And then I'll be asking you questions. I'll carry on with the history investigation, and also ask you questions after about maybe a minute. What's your leg pain doing now? Has it disappeared? Is it worse? In a lot of cases, I find the clients will tell me, or the patients, well, my calf or hamstring pain's gone now. I just feel it more in my hip and my butt. And that's an example of the pain is centralising, it's going back towards the spine. And the research shows great outcomes for this, 80% chance success rate. Also this is sort of reinforced by research that was done in 1991 by Koshal et al. On the tissue origin of pain and sciatica. And this article here shows that out of 17 different tissue types that were tested and stimulated in the lower back, the disc was the most pain-provoking structure. And this is why we will investigate the spine first, especially when it comes to back, butt and leg pain, especially sciatica. So once again, if your pain has improved or centralised, that's great signs for me. Then that will tell me what the spine likes, and then we'll start doing movement testing very shortly after that. If the spine gets worse or your pain gets worse, that's in your leg, then that will show me some very important information too. It's coming from your spine. And I find that 70% of my patients do benefit from this postural change, 20% don't, and 10% will get worse. So it is quite relevant for a lot of the population out there. Now from there, I will then ask you to hop up, and I'll ask you, to rate your pain from sitting to standing, if there is any, and then I'll ask you to do a series of back movements that I will show you, bending backwards, bending forward, side to side. I'll show you all those movements. And then I'll get you to do some functional movements, maybe some squats, or do some activities that you find quite difficult to do during the day for some functional testing. And then I will pick a particular movement for you to repeat 10 to 15 times in a row. That movement will be based on what makes you better and what makes you worse, and will also be based on the evidence that's out there at this particular time. And extensions, bending backwards, repeated movements backwards, we'll start with that because a high percent of the population do benefit from that. And we'll do that standing, and we can do it lying down as well. I'll demonstrate this to you. I'll also send video clips to you of these particular exercises that you'll need to do with the prescription and dosage as well, so you won't forget them. We'll also recommend what to modify and what to avoid for now, and then we'll slowly try and reintroduce those aggravating activities back into your daily lifestyle when the body allows for it. So the first point of call is to reduce the disc derangement if there's a disc bulge, and then to maintain that reduction, and then to recover any losses of function and prevent a reoccurrence. So if you're wondering, how does that work with a disc bulge, is that, let's say you're sitting down or you're doing lots of bending, and this is your vertebrae, and there's the disc, as you can see, there's the disc bulge there, and when the disc, now there's a high percent of the population that will have disc bulges, and some will have pain and some won't have pain, but normally long-term sitting will cause the pain to get worse, and bending, as you can see with this disc bulge. So we'll be going the other way with movements. We'll be going backwards, just like a hydraulic pump, to try and get that bulge smaller and smaller and smaller, so then your pain starts to disappear and you start to feel a lot better. Now from there, I will then follow you up the following day with a phone call, and I'll also follow up 48 hours with a phone call. That's all part of the initial consultation. That's a 45-minute consultation with 2 follow-up phone calls, and then if needed, we can book in a follow-up consultation that will be 30 minutes in duration. So once again, I'll be using mechanical diagnosis and therapy, known as MDT, as a scientific proven method that's recognised around the world and is a standardised system, and it can lead to very rapid outcomes. And you'd be quite surprised how rapid the outcomes can be with this particular method. If you do want to learn more about this method, you can check out my website, www.roball.rehab, and there's a link there for the McKenzie Institute of Australia or the McKenzie International Institute, so you can look further information from there. You can also check out my testimonial page on my website too, to check out other patients' comments. Thank you very much.